He missed no more than a missed first serve. Henna, 5-2. Floodlights already on. 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Temperature about 22, 23 degrees, but quite a blustery wind. Playing like a whirlwind at the moment.
Yes, she does look comfortable. Great timing. It's a real problem for Mollick, particularly as she's playing someone so much quicker than her, and her footwork's great. So much better these days. Just on to everything.
It's taking exactly half an hour for Henna to get to set point. A little cry of alley. Perfectly placed serve. Nice bit of disguise. And Carlos Rodriguez can be very happy with the way his charge is playing. 6-2, first set in exactly half an hour.
It's now or never.
The noise you can hear is a lot of school children in. As we see one or two highlights from the first set. Disappointing news for the tournament was the withdrawal earlier today with a knee injury of Sania Mirza. Immensely popular here, there's a massive Indian community. That support is for Belgium.
They never disappoint with silly hats, do they?
They don't, no. We were here, you and I, Sam, for the Asian Games in December, and it was a small piece of India, wasn't it? Yes.
One of the great returners in the game. As I was saying.
I suspect there's a bit of wind involved in that.
She doesn't really like the wind, although she's dealing with the wind so much better. Also, her horror, and it was blood, and she couldn't believe it. She ended up winning the.
always feel that she's got very good body language as Alicia Molik. She always looks like she means business, whatever the score.
Well, she's a real Aussie trooper, as so many of the Aussie players are. They spend so much time travelling and they have to keep up their spirits. And in her off-season, she did a lot of media work. She's an absolute media natural. And did Dancing with the Stars, which is sort of like celebrity come dancing. I'm sure her partner had to be very tall to accommodate her.
Her opponent is somewhat smaller, but she's leading by a set. But Love won in the second.
What is helping Molik is that she's also an exceptionally good doubles player, and particularly through last year was playing a lot of doubles, and that just kind of kept her in touch with what was going on and helped her win some matches, all helped to build that fragile confidence back.
Do you think she'll ever get back up to the level that she was at the start of 2005?
It's really hard to say. I think the game has just again moved on a little more. I think you look at the top 10 players and they're all so quick about the court, and that's something that's going to be very difficult for Molik to do. I could certainly see her back in the top 20.
Problem is her net rushing game isn't enough by itself. She's got to be almost as good a baseliner as the rest.
Well, when she was in the top 10, I mean, she certainly beat Sharapova from the baseline in Zurich. I think it was back in 2004, and she was competing pretty well on her ground strokes.
Yes, Zurich 2004 and the Australian Open 2005, her two real high water marks. Lost 9-7, final set of her quarter-final to Davenport at the Australian. Quite wonderful match. But this woman's at the top of her powers at the moment. She may be world number 2, but I think if she played in Australia, she would still be number 1, a position which she ended last year. Molik 1-all, second set. Can't afford that against a quality player like Enna.
It would be interesting to see if Anna Nardin gets another second serve here, because that's the next step for her game, where she started to take it at the end of last year. Not just taking on the second serve, but coming in right behind it.
That's brilliant from Enna. Superb defence, using the full range of the court. And then half a chance, beautiful stroke. Look at the depth she gets on this chopped forehand.
Well, her court position is so good. She's never, I think she's very rarely more than a metre behind the baseline.
You can see her hair blowing about in the breeze. The previous match between Schneider and Medina Garrigues, because both players hit with an awful lot of topspin. The ball was really flying through the air, doing all sorts of strange things in it. Beautiful stroke. Taking the ball early.
There's times you just see glimpses of what Mollick used to be able to do. And she certainly changed her grip on that backhand when she started working with David Taylor back in about 2003. And it enables her to hit winners off that side.
Yes, and perhaps trying a little bit too much with a heavily kicking second serve.
Let's just say she's fairly intent on taking it on. There isn't a lot of compromise.
Look how wide Mollick standing for the serve. That's a good game for Mollick. She was love 30. 4 points on the run. Stays on serve in the second set. The Australian leading by 2 games to 1, but a set down to the top seed.
Eurosport Buzz. What is it? Well, it connects up a lot of things that make life sweet. Games, music, movies, trends. Buzz is the new show that gets the names of the moment in exclusive conversation. Talking about what floats their boat. In sport, in the studio, in private, beyond the inside. Eurosport Buzz. Saturday at 1800, only on Eurosport. With extra videos and the JP blog at eurosportbuzz.com.
Fast and Furious, the climax of the indoor season, the European Championships, in the arena that has witnessed 12 world records. Could be lucky 13 for someone. And the first real guide to the prospects for the Worlds this summer. The European Indoor Athletics Championships, Friday afternoon at 5, live on British Eurosport.
Whirlpool on court with the champions.
Good investment getting youngsters into tour level tennis. Maybe some gifted youngster who plays 3 or 4 sports who decides to go for tennis rather than anything else as a result of being inspired by play at this level. And now 1-2, second set.
Always look at Enan, and I've always felt this, just how much she gets out of her game. It's just incredible. It really is. And I love the way that she's always looking. You always see from Enan, especially when she's been out for a while, you always see something new that she's trying to do. Often it's a new serve, which has been modified an incredible number of times. There's always something there. I think she quite enjoys that part of the game. Where can she take it? How much more can she get out of it?
Because she's one of the smaller ones on the tour, so she's got to be doing something. Got to be compensating for her relative lack of power. Yeah, she really remodeled her serve at the start of 2002. There have been tweaks since then, but it was a completely different service action.
When you think that, I think 2001 was her breakthrough year, where she made the top 10 in the off-season. She said, no, the serve's not going to stand up.
Yep.
And that is one of the reasons why she's one of the best in the world. So often, though, this serve has been changed to protect her shoulder, just to try and take the strain out of it. That's been the reason of late why it keeps changing.
A bit of frustration from Mollick, but you know, in these baseline battles, she's not going to, as Paul Kildare, Mollick's coach these days, she's not going to outlast Enan on the majority of these points. Well, the volley wasn't quite off the middle of the racket, but it didn't need to be. She'd really opened up the court with that lovely forehand.
Yes, very much the problem for Mollick is that she can't play her game out here. She can't play anywhere near it. She's terrified to serve and volley because of the great returns of NN and everything she does. NN seems to be there and one step or two steps quicker and just seems to be reading all the plays very early.
2-all. Yes, having spent 4 years teaching ourselves to say Enna Ardennes, she's now dropped the Ardennes.
Just as we were fluent.
Just as we were fluent in it, yes. Having split from Pierre-Yves Ardennes, her husband. Backhand return of serve from Enna. It's just slightly gone off at the moment. But credit Mollick for getting a lot of topspin on these serves.
Well, this is a fantastic court for taking spin, this rebound ace surface, same as they use in Australia. I think it's a court that both Mollick and NN are very, very comfortable on. They do enjoy playing on this surface. By about April, I'll be able to stop saying NN Ardennes, I think, if I get enough practice.
Call Justine. Poor game for the Belgian. Very encouraging stuff for Mollick. She's holding her own in this second set. 3-2, she leads.
Number 3 of the Big Four, the Nordic Ski World Championships. And in ski, new stars in the sky, like Anders Jakobsen of Norway, eclipsing the old order. The Ski Jumping World Championships from Sapporo, Friday morning at 10:30, live on British Eurosport. The Big Four, the Nordic Ski World Championships, and in cross-country, 2 names stand out, Tobias Angera and Burpee Kutanen. But while Angera is the best all-rounder, Vitos and Svartedal could both beat him to gold. Cross-country World Championships, every day, live on British Eurosport.
Whirlpool on court with the champions.
Last of the sunlight has gone over the tops of the stands. So a mixture of natural light and artificial light for the second match of the third day. And now 2-3, second set. Too long.
There's just sometimes when Anna just likes just to see how far she can push it, and that's what she's been doing very much in this set. She played almost a perfect first set. Everything went exactly as she wanted to, and instead of just continuing, she thought, well, I'll just see what more I can get out of my tennis.
The backhand is breaking down at the moment.
Yes, I almost feel like pushing on so much and just trying to do such extraordinary things. She's lost a little rhythm, and she's very dependent on rhythm. All players are, but particularly Anna.
A little bit lucky there, the Belgian. That's a great lob from Molik. And this is very, very interesting. Molik guessed wrong. Still a break point for Molik. The backhand again. And suddenly we have a match on our hands. I was thinking, Sam, that on the first of those break points, Molik hit through her backhand return of serve, and I was wondering maybe there's an option of chipping it. Second break point, she chipped it to the backhand and got the error.
Yes, she did. I just wonder if the wind is starting to bother Anna a little more now. It's hard to say, really, but certainly the timing has gone. That was a strange break, really, because in her last 3 service games, she'd only lost 2 points on serve, so it all rather went south there.
Molik 4-2.
And this is where Alicia can be more dangerous, because now she feels, well, okay, I can try and get up the court between some of these first serves, and what she's trying to do with the second serve, or sometimes even use the second serve as a first serve, really kick it up, get a short ball and get onto her forehand and try and sort of do the Davenport 1-2 punch.
Footwork not quite quick enough from Molik then.
I'm interested to see in this game if Annan compromises at all with some of these returns.
She compromised with that one. Slicing it back. A big forehand from Molik. A couple of very big points coming up here in terms of the destiny of this set. Even the forehand's breaking down now. Well played. What a very, very good service game from Alicia Molik. From love 30 down, she holds serve. She's a game away of taking what would be only her second ever set against Enna in 4 previous meetings. 5-2, second set.
Subaru.
At Eurosport.co.uk, follow the whole Premiership with live scores and comments on all the matches. At Eurosport.co.uk, the whole Premiership is live.
Whirlpool on court with the champions.
So Molik 5-2. Enna serving to stay in the second set. I was mentioning the fact that they've played 4 times before. Enna has won them all. The last time was in Miami in 2005. The only time that Molik won a set. That was just when her ear infection was starting to become apparent. Interesting tactics from Molik. Everything sliced. And then the first forehand she really hit through. She didn't get anything like the depth and was made to pay.
Well, she can use that slice really to try and get onto the forehand, but just completely miscalculated on the forehand which shot she wants to play. I think anything that goes near that forehand she needs to be having a go at, because it's really her biggest weapon on the court, bar her serve.
Signs that Enna is steadying the ship. Oh, it's great tennis from both players. Fantastic footwork from Enna.
Sanan doesn't really say a lot or show a lot on the court, but I think there was some fury in that game, and there was such discipline about the way she took each point one at a time.
Makes a statement, doesn't it? Here's Molik having to serve for the second set after losing the previous game to Love. Serving with the new balls. 5-3. Hans-Jürgen Ox, the umpire. miscued. What's she trying to do? Just slice it wide to the backhand side?
Well, I think she changed her mind, just as she was about to bring the racket forward.
The danger of doing too much slicing is that you then lose the rhythm on your hit-through strokes. Paul Kildare, who's worked with Mollick since she came back off the 9-month layoff.
That is a great serve. She uses it so well, and in a way that's a masculine sort of serve. You see it a lot on the men's tour, just really kicking it out. A lot of women try to do it, but it just doesn't have the same effect.
You need a very good shoulder for that. So 2 points away, potentially, from the set. She had too much time. It was such a good kicked serve. She got the short return. Oh dear. I guess that's just lack of match practice, or lack of practice of playing players at this level. Enna has lifted up her level, not giving away so many free points. But we're back on serve, 5-4 Mollick. Just missed one long first serve. The start of the 10th game. Enna 4-5, serving for the second time to stay in the set.
I get the feeling Enna in this game will really target the Mollick backhand on serve and in the points, and I think it's been very interesting. From 5-2 down, she really has hardly made an unforced error. The game, she just sealed it up.
What a good game from Enna. Well, from 2-5 down, she's dropped us 2 points. Molik 5-all, second set. The line judge shouting fault and then realising it wasn't a serve, so the call should have been out. But no question, the call was correct. Great job. If you can hear some chanting in the background, it's because there's a mosque in the grounds of the Khalifa Stadium, and they have their prayers at certain times of the day. The backhand isn't as a weapon it was a few games ago.
Yes, it's interesting when Anand really turns it on. You can just see the gulf in standard at the moment. It's understandable. Molik finding it very hard to sustain a high level in this match. It's just been very patchy for her.
That's a great return. You can be hypercritical about Molik's footwork, but it was a fantastic return.
It was a ridiculous return from where we're not going to see it, from where Anand actually struck it. Molik had every right to expect a fairly straightforward volley, which she would have knocked off into the open court 4-15, but now she's in trouble.
Of course, Molik had the initiative in the first few strokes at that point, and then she rather lost it by not going for the angle, and now she's facing break point. It's a frustrating process for him. Whether down as an unforced error? If it is, it's the first for a long time. Carlos has sat through many a match.
He usually sits through them quite peacefully,
yes,
particularly for a South American.
Yes. I think he's been there. He's seen so many when she's won 5 Grand Slam titles under his tutelage. Been together for over 10 years.
She just leans on that forehand, generates so much power with the racket speed and the wonderful weight transfer. It's quite something.
Second break point. That's a great return. She was expecting it on the backhand side, you could tell that. But beautiful cross-court placement. Good weight behind the shot, and after 4 games on the run, it'll be Enna serving for a straight sets win.
Mediterranean as it once was.
At Eurosport.co.uk, stay tuned to the Premiership season. With the latest news, interviews and analysis, live scores and comments on all the matches, and video interviews with the top coaches and players. At Eurosport.co.uk, follow the whole Premiership live.
Whirlpool on court with the champions.
And now serving for a place in the quarterfinals. 6-5, second set.
Well, I guess she had to make a couple of errors because the last 4 games have been quite perfect.
Yes.
Probably better than some of the tennis she played in the first set.
Yeah. Well played, Mollick. She really made that point happen. There were rather a lot of points that took her to 5-2, which were errors from Enat. So 3 points for the tiebreak. Didn't think this was in the script. Maybe it isn't. Too good.
Yeah, sometimes more it just runs out of court. Sometimes when she actually is on the run, she actually puts the ball in the wrong place, and that just leaves her very vulnerable. Going down the line there really was an open door for Enant.
Still break point. It's given wide. Enna not happy with it, but the call stands and we have a tie break. Whatever happens in this tie-break, it'll be very encouraging for Mollick to play against arguably the best player in the world. And to be able to take her to a tie-break. Just signs that she's getting her sharpness back. Still lacking consistency, but... If she can play the tiebreak like that, we might yet have a third set.
So much of this still depends on Enin, though, unless Molik serves unbelievably well in this tiebreak. Yes, I agree with you that Molik will be pleased. I think Molik would love to nick a set, and then if she was to lose from there on, I think she would deal with that. I think a lot of it has come from, a lot of unforced errors from Enin. I'd love to be able to say that Molik is in this situation because she's played brilliantly in this set and she's matched Enin, but in all honesty, she hasn't. Yes, she's played okay. She's probably played top 30, top 20 tennis at times.
But it's easy to forget that it took her 6 years to work up to the level that she was at the end of 2004.
When she's
31.
Yes, she's 31. She'll be at her peak again.
Unlucky.
This is a good match for Enin, provided she can get through it, because she's having to work a bit. She's had some time to experiment. The experiments have been put to one side, and now she's getting on with the ugly business of just trying to close this out.
That's a great serve. And I suppose she's reaping the reward there for having served to the backhand on so many second serves. And I was expecting the serve down the backhand. Well, she's making good use of the court, is the Australian. You said that she'd have to serve superbly. So far, it's been pretty faultless. Oh dear. That should be a high percentage shot.
One of the reasons why Enin has been so successful when she's played on the tour over the last few years is that she now really enjoys the adrenaline of these situations. She quite likes it when another player sort of looks her in the eye and says, well, how about it? She says, okay, here we go.
Three all. Oh dear. There's been a few double faults thrown in. That's the fourth for Enin in this match. This is what happens in the real pressure situations, the shots that you can normally rely on so solidly at 1 all, 2 all, 3 all, suddenly have extra pressure on them. Two poor slices there, one very short, one too long. 2 points against the head. was a very good body serve from Enna. And after an hour and 20 minutes, the top seed has match point. Too long.
Well, that surprises me. She does like to push it though, doesn't she? Always to the lines. Would certainly have backed herself in that situation. I don't think she can quite believe she didn't make that forehand.
Well, in theory we're back on serve, but it is a second match point. Beautifully played. That was a bit premature. She got there in the end though.
And that was not easy. She didn't want to lean over across the net to take the ball out of the air, because she may have actually leant over it and lost the point.
It's a fantastic get though. Off the top of the net.
Good hands there from, I mean, she couldn't have really put it at any more difficult place, and just very calmly there, I'm sure she was deep down very calm, but gets it done.
That was cool.
And we're back at 6-all. 2 match points saved. All good for the Mollick confidence. Well, she went for the big one. She had to do something.
Yes, you couldn't argue with the decision-making process there. She was a little far back, but if she didn't go for it, then certainly Anne would have taken it on.
No, it was the right shot to go for. Match point number 3. What a great return.
Well, I love the fact that she's being so positive at the moment. It would be easy for her, I think, in many ways to try and make a lot of balls, try not to give this away, but she's, I have to say, the Mollick's doing some very good things out here.
Enna couldn't get the ball to the backhand of Mollick. And now it's the Australian who has set point on her own serve.
Well, she might not be in the top 10 anymore on ranking, but she's still thinking like a top 10 player, because those last few points was exactly what she would have done a few years ago when she was at her best.
Paul Kildary's fingernails had a bit of a break. Oh, the right decision again. She'd worked the point so well.
amazing to see Mollick finding some consistency out here. Because in those kind of points, she's been breaking down.
Well, she's really looked better on the Enar serve than she has on her own. It's her second set point. This time it's on the Enar serve. Again, the element of surprise. I'm sure Mollick was expecting that down her backhand wing.
What's the longest tie break?
9-all. Now, was that too tentative from Mollick? She had the short ball. Set point, it's match point number 4. She didn't do enough with the volley, and Enar wins. She'll be delighted with the runaround. A lot of respect between these two. But it's Enar who goes forwards to play Patti Schneider in the round of the last 8. Sam Smith?
Well, good to see Mollick playing some decent tennis again. I thought she played a very good tie break. It was just 1 or 2 points that let her down. And then it was, for Enar, excuse me, it was just one of those matches she has to get through. She played very, very well for most of it, and she'd be pleased just to have run it out in 2 sets. And I think a very good bet for this tournament.
Okay.
So the top quarter reads Enar having beaten Mollick, playing Schneider, who beat Medina Garrigues. In a few minutes we're going to go into the bottom half of the draw for the match between the 3rd seed Martina Hingis and the Russian Maria Kirilenko. Let's have a look at the statistics. Mollick served pretty well. Ultimately though, the value for Mollick is just that little bit of growing confidence.
Yes, and I'm sure it'll come. She needs to play a lot more top 10 players, but she's had a win this week, and that's what she's been doing most weeks. She's been getting that winning feeling. Not today, but a set would have been nice, but good enough, I would say, for Mollick at this stage.
The daylight's gone in Doha, but the tennis is still, well, there's 2 matches on the schedule, and the next one up is Martina Hingis against Maria Kirilenko. We'll have that for you here on Eurosport. As we just see a few highlights of Enar's win, much closer than expected, 6-2, 7-6, 11-9 in the tiebreak. One former world number 1 through. Let's see if another former world number 1 in the shape of Martina Hingis can also make it through to the quarterfinals. Coming up in just a few minutes' time. Stay with us here on Eurosport.